Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and droids across our beloved Empire. Man, it's great to be in the Empire today. And if you think so as well, hit that like button. Even though right now in Galaxies, don't get me wrong, Datacrons were not the thing we were looking for. We're not going to open up that conversation here. But you know what? We're kind of into several stages of grief and trying to get over this. And I'm at the point right now where I want to help people interact this. They're here to stay. And if you don't like it, the only thing you can really do is just delete the game and walk away. But for those that do want to stick around, embrace, and try to figure out how to use it, I want to start creating a series and a guide because Datacrons are going to be pivotal for Territory Wars and Grand Arena. And as a result, I have created a guide. Took a while to put together, a lot of theory crafting to help figure out for each person, because not roster is going to be the same, and moving forward it's going to be even more so, because one, you might not have certain teams, and moving forward you might not have certain relics and certain Datacrons. I want to try to make a guide depending on your roster and what you get. Try to develop the best Datacron possible. So firstly, this is the first installment of this. If you have any suggestions on how to make this guide better, please comment down below to let me know, and there will be a link as well for you to access this list here. And secondly, if you think this is going to be helpful, leave that like, comment down below as well, so I know this is worth our time, because as we know, with Datacrons, seasonally and chapterly, they are going to be releasing new Datacrons into the game. And for example, right now, First Order might not have a lot of bonuses. They very well could be, and I think this is going to be a good way to keep this list breathing and living as we get new updates that are going to add new stuff. So your guys' feedback always make this very helpful, just like our Zeta rankings, character rankings, team rankings, all of that. So hopefully this is going to be helpful for you guys here. And at the very end, what we're going to do here is we're going to get my first level 9, and who knows, maybe if you like the video as well, you might be getting whatever I'm getting. I'm hoping for Jedi Master Kenobi. Before we get into the guide here, there's like two things I want to explain real quick. I'm going to do more of a guide in terms of how to interact and understand these more. Kadarla Poet, one of our Kyber Club viewers, has done a lot of legwork on this. But I've been getting a lot of questions. How do I even equip these things? Well, first things first, let's go to Grand Arena as an example here. Unfortunately, the developers did not do a great job explaining this. But when you go to your Edit Defense tab, whether here or inside of Territory Wars, you get the option to hit the edit. And in this last slot here, when you click on it, you get to pick the Datacron you want to equip on that particular team. For offense, when you're about to attack an offense, this is normally the screen you would see, right? You normally select your 5 characters, 4, 3, whatever the case might be. And then the same thing, you would click on this and add the Datacron you want to activate for that particular team. Second question I get, we're going to hop over to the free-to-play account for this one right here. Other question I get is that will this work with undersized squads? So let's give an example here. For example, I don't have a fully relic Emperor Palpatine lineup. And the problem is, one thing that makes Datacrons hard to swallow is that you need to have the same relics across the entire squad in order to activate a special tier. So for example, this is normally the team I would use in 5v5 Grand Arena. Well, if I add a Datacron in this last slot here, it's not going to activate at all because my whole entire team is not even Relic 3. However, if I did something like this, the Datacrons will activate. So that's a common question I've been getting. Whenever you're looking at this guide, do you need the full team relic? Yes, you need the full team relic in order to achieve the particular goals met inside of the Datacrons that are listed there. And if you don't know what relics you need, it tells you inside of here what relics are needed to activate a tier. So for example, level 3, these are the most important things. Level 3, 6, and 9 are the primary emphasis of building a Datacron and this guider. You need at least relic level 3 on all your characters to activate. If you have one at relic 2, you don't even activate the Datacron. You need at least relic 5 to activate this bonus, and everyone's got to be at relic 5. And then here you have to at least have a relic 7, and it only has to be on the particular character bonus. For example, Jedi Master Kenobi, Galactic Legends Rey. So with that in mind, hopefully that's a nice way to help you interact and understand how to equip and what relic levels you're going to need. Let's go ahead and we're going to talk about a couple of the factions. It took a long time to put this together, try to theorize, and just go through the main core teams of Galaxies. Of course, there are probably going to be more theory craft teams that are going to evolve, be bred as a result of Datacrons and just some fun interacts. But I pretty much took all the factions, all the core teams to kind of explain some stuff. So why don't we take a look at probably the biggest bonus we have Galactic Republic. Again, there are tabs at the bottom to click on the variety of factions that you're going to be interested in. And you might not have Galactic Republic. Like my free-to-play account, I only have First Order. We'll kind of talk about what to look at if you don't have the faction that has the seasonal bonuses of that particular quarter here. Jedi Master Kenobi, and let's just kind of go through a few examples of how these are organized. Basically, what we're looking at right here, let's make this a little bit wider right now. Beautiful. You have the level 3, level 6, and level 9. That's when you get the variety of bonuses. Level 3, pretty much any faction you have in the game, whether it's First Order, Tuskens, even though they don't have alignment or character bonuses of that season, almost every team can at least benefit from the level 3 light side or dark side alignment bonuses. And for example, for a Jedi Master Kenobi team, I give you some examples on what are the best mechanics within a particular level 3, 6, or 9. So for example, level 3 alignment, obviously you're going to want to have lights. And for Jedi Master Kenobi, dark side, you're wasting your time. The bonus alignment bonus mechanic, or the best alignment mechanic I recommend, for example, number 1, if you have 2 or more buffs, you're getting 5% offense increase, which is pretty much all the time because Kenobi teams are spam chock full of bonuses and buffs. If you get buffs, and let's say, because here's the other problem too that's going to make it hard. It's already bad enough that we have mods and relics that really differentiate rosters. You might not even get the ideal bonus, which is 2 or more buffs or 5% offense increase. Well, you might want to know, all right, what's the next best thing? Or whatever you rolled, where does it kind of rank? And maybe you should re-roll. For example, Jedi Master Kenobi, if you get the buff equals 2% health protection recovery, it's not bad. It's going to be still decent, but probably not as good, at least in my opinion, on this order. Some people might disagree and they might flip them, and that's where your guys' feedback is going to help out as well here. Or, you know, Days or Stun. If you're going to have the special faction alignment bonus, which starts at level 6, if you're going to get constant stuns, you might get some health and protection recovery as well. So that's kind of how you look at it. You're going to look at each tier, level 3, 6, and 9. You might not even need a level 6 or 9 upgrade, as you'll see, for example, with First Order. I'll let you know, there's no reason for this current chapter in this exhibition to go for a faction or a character bonus if you just have First Order right now. But here, there are Galactic Republic bonuses, and I organized basically the top couple best bonuses to have for Galactic Republic for Jedi Master Kenobi team. Retaliate seems the most deadly. Basically, steadfast retribution, mirroring the damage your opponent does right back at them, like Kenobi needed that. Stun on special abilities. Every time you're spamming special abilities, you're gonna stun the enemy. That sounds pretty nasty. I actually have this one right here. I would ideally like Retaliate, but it's kind of expensive to re-roll, so I'm gonna kind of stick with what I have, but still, it's not bad. And then, obviously, you have a couple of character bonus mechanics within a current chapter or set that are released. Jedi Master Kenobi is one of them. Again, not like he needs it. And in my opinion, I think the high ground, which is ignoring protection, is probably the best. The bonus ultimate charge. And then lastly, there's only 3 on Kenobi. The last one is a 5% max health and protection per relic level and the 15% damage reduction. So that's kind of the overarching idea of how to approach this. Find a team you're looking for. Again, pretty much all the staple teams here. You got Padme, the Qui-Gon Jinn, Grand Arena Omicron, the 501st, which I think the 501st might be nice to stop at. Looking at a team that might have a faction bonus, but not a character bonus. General Anakin Skywalker, there are no 501st character bonuses for this particular set that was released. But here, you can still apply some of these alignment bonuses and faction alignment bonuses. Obviously, you're going to want light side, and I think having 4 debuffs, allowing you the chance to reduce your cooldowns, could be great for General Anakin Skywalker. See, does the AoE, does a lot of days. He might be able to follow up again next turn with another one of them, so you can still interact with them, even though you don't have a Jedi Master Kenobi team. You might have a Bad Batch team down here, and then you can kind of follow the logic. For General Anakin Skywalker, it's a Galactic Republic based team, so you're probably going to want Retaliate, the stun on special abilities, or being able to recover health on critical hit, which could really slow down a Commander Luke Skywalker team trying to pick down the clone. So hopefully that makes sense. But why don't we take a look at, for example, a faction that's not getting a lot of love? First Order. Probably a lot of you guys, not a lot of First Order love this first time around, but that doesn't mean they're never going to get it. Very likely they will so. But during this current chapter, there is no alignment, but faction alignment bonus, and there is no character bonus. But you can still apply some stuff, like my free-to-play account, for example, on what I have right now. So, for example, I have the on my free-to-play account, the bonus mechanic for Darkseid. Anytime I'm starting with anytime I start a turn with at least 2 buffs that can be dispelled, they gain 5% offense, which is probably the best you can get for a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. So even though you might be unmotivated, disappointed, your faction is not getting special bonuses, you should at least strive to at least apply the bare level 3 Datacrons on them, which will give me some buffs, but some other ideas for Supreme Calrem, maybe some health protection recovery for every buff you're getting, some extra health and protection recovery when you're applying stun, which is really only Kylo Rens that are applying the stuns for the most part. And then again, we have some other options, like for example, the First Order lead with the First Order TIE Pilot Omicron. Again, giving some suggestions on how this works. Let's do this. We're going to take a look at one more faction of the season that we have here, which is going to be Resistance. And do note, we also have Inquisitorious Bonuses, which if you're curious about that, you go to the Imperial tab and you're going to scroll down. We have, for example, Lord Vader, which, by the way, complete side note, again, this video could be 3 hours long, but Lord Vader, I think, is going to be extremely deadly. With his AoE applying tons of days, tons of debuffs, he might be able to constantly reduce his cooldowns and constantly spam AoEs. So get ready for Lord Vader to be a completely different character in the near future. But for example, I got Lord Vader Inquisitorious. As you see, just for a normal Lord Vader team, probably no reason to go for a faction or character bonus. But if you're going to blend Lord Vader and Inquisitorious, that opens up a lot more theory crafting and Datacron potential. And of course, we got, for example, down below, an actual Inquisitorious team or Emperor Palpatine and Inquisitorious. So lots of ways to go about it. But when I was taking a look at the Resistance, again, kind of like Kenobi, there are some nutty combinations. For example, Rey getting more offense fed to her team, or on top of that, she can feed tons of turn meter to the team. Resistance teams are going to be gnarly. And then she even has her own bonus, Rey, that is, if she's at Relic 7, where she can do 75% more offense for each active ally on her ultimate ability. Absolutely insane. One other interaction I did like is the idea of Finn Zeta lead inside a grand arena. Holy cow. If you can get them rolling, they're going to apply so many exposes. Poe's going to probably constantly reduce his cooldown on his taunt, spamming tons of exposes. And if we go all the way up here to the faction bonus, you're going to get so much turn meter for every damaged exposed enemy, and even more cooldown reductions. And even crazier, Finn's got a pretty nasty lead. If you got him to Relic 7 and you go all the way to level 9, which is kind of tricky to get to right now. You kind of need to pay to play to get there. Who would have thunk? But in the lead, you get to expose all enemies when Resistance allies inflict expose or it gets resisted. And Jedi Training Rey also has some cool expose synergy here. So again, this video could go on for a very, very long time. We could talk about some theory crafts around the Rebel team, the Commander Luke, Mon Mothma teams out there, some Jedi team like Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. His AoE, his F flexibility could probably keep reducing its cooldowns because it applies at least 4 debuffs on the team. So this is just a starting guide to help us understand, give you at least a head start. One, at the beginning, how to at least equip it on offense, defense, and grand arena and territories. And secondly, if you only have certain factions, what Datacron should you be striving for, or whatever Datacron you create, where is maybe the best place for you to apply it on the characters and factions that you have inside of Galaxy Heroes. And with that said, I'm going to pass the ball over to you guys. Hopefully you're going to find this helpful, but I promise you guys one more thing. Why don't you come on over here? And let's see, Gary says we have a lot of likes today. All right. I know we're pushing our way. We're trying to make the best out of the Datacron situation. But let's see what I'm going to get for my first level 9. And maybe if I get the Master Kenobi, you all will get it for free too in your roster. So here we go. Let's lift it up. And how about in this? In 3, a 2, and a 1. Fingers crossed. Jedi Master Kenobi, Jedi Master Kenobi, Jedi Master Kenobi, Jedi Master. All right. There we go. This is I believe, the second best that I have. Every time Jedi Master Kenobi gains ultimate charge, he's getting an additional 6%. However, I would really like to see if I can get the other one, which, as I showed you in our video right here, I would ideally like for Jedi Master Kenobi, the high ground ignoring protection. Absolutely devastating, but this isn't as bad. So let's just see. I think it's going to be a lot easier to reroll because now there's not as many options to go through. And we're going to do just one reroll and see if maybe we get what we want. And unfortunately, we did not. So I'm going to keep what I have right now. This is the probably the least important one. Either this one or the other one for ignoring protection on high ground is pretty nasty. So with that said, hopefully you guys got your free Jedi Master Kenobi level 9 Datacron in your roster. Hope this video was helpful for you. I'm just trying to find a way that we can make Datacrons easier to swallow, and we are going to have a more in-depth Q&A guide to make sure you're getting the best Datacrons possible. And in the meantime, you know what to do. Tell me how you're doing. How are you feeling about Datacrons? Is this helpful? Like, comment, subscribe, and just please always remember, despite what's going on in Galaxy Heroes, at least it's great to be in the Empire today.